Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with today's trading action. All right, now the markets have really diffused. Okay, all this hype and talk about the tariffs from Trump and counter tariffs and all this stuff, it sort of wears you down, and that's what it's done to the market at the moment. It's really diffused momentum across the board. Um, Dollar, is it going up or down? Well, I think some of these news services are dreaming about what's going on because if you have a look at the charts here, right, you can see the dollar did have clear direction. Now it's sort of just drifting sideways. If anything, the safe haven's a little bit out of play. I mean, nothing looks really good there. Dollar Swiss, dollar yen, dollar CAD. We are starting to see though fatigue here in definitely in euro and sterling, but euro to me has got a little bit more room to move on the downside. And this is all to do with this sort of geopolitical situation with Ukraine, US, Russia. Is there going to be a ceasefire or not? Apparently, maybe not. And that's putting a bit of, if I can just say probably, a bit of a negative tone on the euro, right? And so we had some pending orders here on, let's just have a look at the sort of trade blotter there. Had a couple of pending orders here on euro and sterling, right? But sort of cancelled those with that fatigue. I mean, I still think there's room for those to go up, but just at the moment, where we are in the week doesn't look good. And also highlighting an active trade there for Aussie dollar as well. Let me just come back to those charts and just explain to you why the Aussie looks pretty good. Because basically, this has been going down short term and long term, right? The tariffs that have been applied to China are going to directly impact Australia. Okay, China is their biggest export market for minerals. And also now we've got the steel tariffs on Australia as well. So it's a triple whammy. Then you throw in a bit of geopolitical, bearishness with euro. That's going to push the dollar a little bit higher. Everything signals to me like the Aussie could go straight down here. And I'm looking for a trade to the downside on the Aussie dollar, right? So that's where we are at the moment. If you have a look at the, US equities, I mean, US Treasury yields, a little like a fraction lower here, right? You can sort of see equity markets in the US have been getting a bit of a battering. At the moment, we've got a little bit of a, equities up, but it's not really flowing through to the currencies, right? And this is the discombobulation that we've been dealing with sort of all week. And if I show you the prime time analysis, right, like to me, yeah, sterling does look good, but the timing's not really good. Aussie and Kiwi, if we get the timing lining up, overbought situations, I really like the Aussie, probably even more so than the Kiwi. And if I just scroll down there, you'll see all this talk and hype about tariffs. It's really thrown the majors, the dollar. It's inconsistent across the board, and that is a bit of a concern, right? It's very rare that you have, sterling going up and the Aussie and Kiwi going down, euro uncertain, right? This is so, but you can be selective and really fine tune the opportunities, right? So I've updated the live sessions for next week. I think I'll run with another coaching session this week on the Wednesday, London morning, and Aussie employment. There's a number of big things coming out next week. The Fed, we've got a few other things as well. But the employment figures, this could give us a real lead into the Aussie weakness, potential cuts. It's like the precursor to what is happening with the tariffs on China and everything else that's boiling away. I think this is a bit of a sleeper and one that could really give us a great trading opportunity. All right, so that's Thursday. Don't forget, I have updated the live trade hub to give you a bit of an idea of what's going on. Sort of 9 o'clock New York on the 13th, 9 p.m. This is the sort of general setup that we've got. We've got a risk on profile. It's not exactly, well, it's a risk on profile here with this setup. We're not seeing it run through into the majors just yet. So just be aware of that. And that's where we are. Like it's been a bit of a tricky one. Good week for me to get a few things lined up. If you are thinking about the joining the 10-week challenge, as I've got it set up here, it's not a bad thing to consider. If I can just find where let's get the Discord over here. So basically, you're going to have access to the trade zone. Obviously, you don't need to be. There's still a lot of chat going on in here in the market. But I will be focusing on, and this is the sort of key aim for it, is to get me a bit focused on the markets, is giving you a bit more regular updates, daily updates on actual trading opportunities, not just sort of market analysis. That may be of interest to you guys. All right. Anyway, markets, they may not look so good, but there is a bit of a diamond in the rough here, and that's what I'm sort of focusing on at the moment, is the Aussie dollar, right? Just putting sterling just at the moment. Looks like there's room to go the downside here with euro and sterling. Once again, that should also drag the Aussie down as well. So what I need the Aussie to go a little bit higher, ideally. First would be perfect. Anyway, that's enough from me. Have a good trade day and a good weekend. Cheerio.